good Tuesday morning. I'm going to start off this morning with a full disclosure that I am deteriorating physically by the minute. My wife got the neurovirus after both my daughters had the neurovirus. She got it yesterday. And then I got cocky and I touched the neurovirus money and I said, I am not getting this thing. You guys, just your immune systems. I pulled an Al Dukes. I said, your immune systems are terrible. I said, I'm eating great. I'm working out. And you guys are just, you should be ashamed of yourselves for catching all these germs. And I woke up and I popped out of bed and I was thinking, man, if I could just get through today, I'll be fine. Took a shower, felt great, went downstairs, got in the car. Halfway here, I'm listening to CeeLo talk to E. Frank in Astoria. Maybe that's what made me sick. And I start shivering and getting very, very tired and queasy. So I'm going to give it a shot. I have not thrown up. I have not had any sort of stuff coming out the other end yet. So I'm going to give this a shot because that's what I do, Boomer. When adversity faces me, I power through. You know me. I never run in the other direction of adversity. I always take it head on. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
I'm doing a lot better than you are, that's for sure. And, if you need to go, you need to go. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Just make sure the bucket's close by.
Mm-hmm.
You got it, right?
Yeah, I got it right there.
There it is right there. Just make sure it's close by.
Well, I'm going to run out of here. I'm not going to get that on CBS Sports Network.
Well, I don't know. We should.
Hey, Stephen Waldron, would you like to see me throw up on CBS Sports Network or would like for me to run out of the studio? Yeah, okay. Sure you do. Okay. Well, I'll try my best. I'll grab the bucket and I'll get off camera. And then just quickly, just have that camera finger ready to go right to Boomer's face when that happens.
It's amazing to me that this norovirus just goes the way it does.
I can't
it's nonstop, man.
I'm waiting for Pfizer to come out for a vaccine and make another $100 billion for that one.
Right.
Yeah, I read something yesterday that this norovirus is 66% more contagious than any other one that they've seen.
66%.
66%.
How do they know 60%?
Because they're scientists, man. There's petri dishes, and they know what they're doing.
Scientists.
Yeah, they check that stuff out. There's epidemiologists. That's what they do, man. So they check stuff out, but that's what they said.
Yeah, it's a rough one, Big. So hopefully it's not going to hit you. We'll see what happens. If you start feeling good, then you just get out of here. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I tell you, this is... if this is in my head.
You want me to call it drip hydration right now?
I don't think I need it yet because I
get
haven't
an IV nurse in here.
I haven't thrown up yet. That's why I'm worried about getting that drip hydration before the stuff starts coming at me, you know?
Yeah. I can tell in your eyes.
You can tell in my eyes?
Yeah, I could see it.
You can tell, really?
Yeah, I could see it.
Oh, God.
I'm sitting here real close to you so I can tell.
Yeah, man.
Your skin looks good and everything, but you look a little...
glazed over?
Glazed over, a little bit.
Yeah, I thought the same when I looked at my eyes in the mirror, too, and I'm freezing. That's why I have a jacket on. I'm absolutely freezing.
Yeah, you're a big layer guy.
I am a big layer guy, and I got 3 of them on right now.
Right.
And I got my hands in my pockets because I'm freezing.
Do you want me to get the blanket out of my... Al, can you go get the blanket out of my office? I think that will help, too.
Yeah, I think so.
So anyway...
what's going on in sports?
Did a little digging yesterday.
Nice, I love it.
And, had a few conversations with a number of people across the NFL. Felt really good about the conversations that I was having, just talking about different players, different potential scenarios and things of that nature. And I know that David Carr, Derek Carr's brother, was out there talking yesterday about this is going to be a process for Derek Carr, that he wants to find the right team, the right fit, and all of that other stuff. And that I figure that, Derek Carr's going to want to sign a contract here within the next week or so.
Didn't sound like it.
I think he needs to. I think he needs to get out in front, pick his team, sign the contract, and move on.
His brother said he was dragging it out. His brother David on NFL Network said that he's going to drag this thing out.
There's no reason. There's no reason to drag it out.
Says not anytime soon he's going to make a decision.
All right, here's your blankie.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Let's see if this helps. Perfect. Oh, yeah. All right. Awesome. Thanks, Boomer.
I know. That's how I felt. I was freezing my ass off.
Oh, God, you did? You had that symptom?
Yeah, there was nobody to give me a blankie, though.
No, just the nurse with the sponge bath.
I was, 1 minute you're freezing, next minute you're sweating.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Anyway, so, I don't know what Derek Carr is going to do. I do know, however, that he is concerned from the Jets' perspective that, that Zach Wilson is here. And what does the future hold for Zach Wilson?
Okay.
Nobody can answer that question.
So we were speculating that absolutely he would ask that question. It sounds like he did.
And he did.
Yeah.
And I do know that the Jets are not doing anything with Zach Wilson, regardless of what the fan base may think. You start reacting to the fan base, you end up sitting with the fan base.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people out there that are not all that happy with Zach Wilson, and I can understand that. He has to earn back the respect and the trust of the fans and certainly his teammates. And I'm not saying that he is in the running to start next year, but he is going to be here, and he's going to be a part of the team. That I know. They're not giving up on him just yet.
But if they sign Derek Carr, so Derek Carr's going to want a 4 or 5 year deal, right?
That's the point.
Yeah.
So if they sign Derek Carr, that may be the sticking point.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but that could be a sticking point for Derek Carr. I don't want to put words into Derek Carr's mouth, but he was certainly wanted to know what the idea in the future was for Zach Wilson. And like he should go through everything that is on his mind and want answers to all these different questions. Now, I also think that there is a really good chance that whenever this darkness retreat ends for Aaron Rodgers, which may be today, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. So I heard Alan Jerry talking about it, is he going to be on McAfee today? And I Googled it myself. I can't find anywhere if he is, unless I missed it. But if he's on McAfee today, then obviously we know he's out of the darkness retreat. So there's a good chance he comes out of this thing and what?
All right. Well, this is what has to happen. If he is going to be a New York Jet quarterback, what does Al say?
McAfee is off this week, so he's
off.
not.
All right, so maybe he is in the darkness retreat.
Okay.
But anyway, if Aaron Rodgers is to be the quarterback of the New York Jets, I put a few different things together, thinking that this is what it's going to take. So understand that Aaron Rodgers, in his career up to this point, has made $305,608,000. All right, so he's already north of $300 million. He is scheduled to make $59 million this year with the Green Bay Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers, according to many different people, actually 3 different people that I've spoken to yesterday, is basically driving this bus. He is the one that is total control of what he wants to do. And
if the Packers want him back, he's not going back.
And Green Bay knows this.
Okay.
And Green Bay also knows that they can't afford a $59 million, signing bonuses, which is basically, or $58 million signing bonus, which is what he's going to get. So if he goes back to Green Bay, he would have to readjust his contract again. Or this is what I think is got to happen if he's going to be a New York Jet. Number one, he has to come out from his darkness retreat, and he has to demand a trade to the Jets only. Okay? And if he does that, then Green Bay will acquiesce and they will trade him to the Jets. And Green Bay is not going to receive all the compensation that everybody thinks.
Well, yeah.
Because
of the
number
money
one,
and
of his
the
age.
Yeah.
But then there has to be a third thing. Rodgers has to do what Brady did with Tampa. He's got to adjust his contract to a point where it's amenable for the Jets to pay it. And also, he has to have a sit down with Woody Johnson and say to Woody Johnson, look, if I'm taking less money, you have to assure me that you're going to be spending money in other spots to rebuild this team, quickly via free agency. And most likely, I'm thinking offensive line.
Sure, and get all his friends. Use that money on all my friends that played with the Packers.
Maybe not so much his friends, but what he would end up doing is taking somewhere between 30 to 35 million per year, maybe 70 million guaranteed max over the next 2 years. And then the Jets would have flexibility with their money, and Woody would have to spend it and allow Joe Douglas to go do what he needs to go do in order to support Aaron Rodgers. Now, here's the key part about this. If they get Aaron Rodgers and they get him for 2 years, let's say 2 years, and then there could be a compensatory pick that is tied to Aaron Rodgers' success here and the Jets' success here, that maybe Green Bay would get something else back if they ended up going to the Super Bowl or they go into the playoffs or something. That part of it is not going to be all that difficult between the Jets and Green Bay. The other thing that has to happen here is that, and what will happen here, is that the Jets do get to keep Zach Wilson on the team. And it turns out that I believe that Aaron Rodgers is Zach Wilson's idol. And now you get the best of both worlds from the Jet perspective. You get to hold on to Zach Wilson. He gets to sit and go to those meeting rooms with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron and Zach seem to like each other a lot. And then there's the Nathaniel Hackett relationship deal, which is a really strong, which is a big thing in this whole kind of situation, is that they are close. And one of the reasons, I believe, or a number of reasons why Aaron Rodgers didn't go to Denver last year, he could have forced a trade to Denver, was because I don't think he wanted to leave his buddies behind. You know, the Bakhtiaris, the Randall Cobbs, the Mason Crosbys of the world, that he wanted to see if he could run it back one more time with those guys. But now I think all of those bets are off. And when you think that Green Bay is sick of Aaron Rodgers and sick of all of this, I'm telling you that is true.
That is true. Well,
that is 100% true. So if Aaron comes out of his darkness retreat and he says, I want to continue to play, I want to go to the Jets, I want to modify my contract, I want to get assurances from Woody Johnson that he's going to spend on free agency, and then the Jets can hold on to Zach Wilson. To me, that is like a match made in heaven. That would be the perfect scenario for the Jets if Aaron Rodgers is willing, which I believe he would have to be, willing to lower his salary.
Well, is he willing to? But we go back to the same point, though. Is he willing to go to the Jets? If he's willing to lower his salary, that's one thing. Does he do that for the Jets?
I now believe yes.
Really?
I now believe yes.
But who the hell would know with how weird he is?
I believe yes. I believe that is that scenario right there would be the perfect scenario for the New York Jets.
No, we've been saying, obviously, that Rodgers is the best option for weeks now. It's just a matter of him actually wanting to play here. So.
Yeah, well, and I believe that could be the case. And I think a lot of that would have to do with his relationship with Nathaniel Hackett. The other thing, too, is if he comes here and, you know, Nathaniel's calling the plays and doing all that stuff, you know, Aaron knows this, obviously, these plays like the back of his hand. So when he comes here, like when I came to the Jets, I knew Bruce Coslett's offense. So I was able to coach as well as play. In other words, the quarterback is well-versed in all the language and all the situations, all the pass protections and all that other stuff. And you seamlessly just hit the ground running, and he becomes an extension of the coaching staff, which is a good thing for like guys like Garrett Wilson, for Elijah Moore. He can tell them exactly what he wants them to do and how to do it. And you can't minimize that fact either. Now, just to go back to Derek Carr for 1 second. To me, like Derek Carr is not coming here for a 2-year contract. Derek Carr is not coming here. I think Derek Carr is looking for like a 4 or 5 year deal, and he wants somebody to commit to him.
Well, of course. I mean, especially after what happened with the Raiders, that's what he's going to be looking for. Now, here's the problem. If he asked about Zach Wilson, Derek Carr, then I'm sure he asked about Aaron Rodgers. Like, what's your guys' interest in Aaron Rodgers? Am I going to be sitting here wanting to play for you, and then all of a sudden I'm the second choice? I mean, that's a question that's very difficult to answer.
The other thing, too, that you may have to commit more money because of Derek Carr's age. You're going to have to commit more money to Derek Carr than you would to Aaron Rodgers. You know, and you'd have to commit more years. And to me, if I had to, my crystal ball tells me that, you know, if Zach Wilson, they're going to keep Zach Wilson. They're not getting rid of him yet. So everybody needs to get that out of their minds.
But what if Carr stays, though? I mean, what if Carr signs?
They're not getting rid of Zach Wilson. They're just
what the hell are they going to do with him for 5 years?
No, they think that they have a I know when I say that. Again, I'm not saying that I agree with all this. I'm just telling you how I think that they're thinking. I think that they believe that they have a special player on their hands that just is very immature and just needs to grow up and just needs to learn how to become a professional football player. Now, many of us Ranger fans could have said the same thing about Capo Caco, could have said the same thing about Filipino, could have said the same thing about Alexei Lafreniere. And all of a sudden, all three of these guys are becoming they're actually becoming the players that we were hoping that they were going to become. They're getting better each and every year. And it takes a while. Everybody's a little bit different. And maybe in the mindset, in the back of the mind, is that you bring in a Aaron Rodgers who likes Zach Wilson and can mentor Zach Wilson, even though he's not going to say, I'm here to mentor him, I'm here to win football games. But what I mean by that is that he'll get to watch him every day in practice. He'll get to watch how he prepares. He'll get to watch how a Hall of Fame quarterback goes about his business. And then after 2 years, if Aaron Rodgers wants to retire, or even after a year he wants to retire, the Jets at least have their quarterback for the moment, And hopefully he will drag this other young quarterback along and get him to be the player that they see on the practice field.
It's not surprising that Aaron Rodgers is Zach Wilson's idol because I feel like they fell off the same douche tree. You know, they got that same personality, that same grating. You know, teammates don't love them. Birds of a feather.
I do think teammates do love Aaron Rodgers. Maybe some of his younger teammates probably a little bit aloof and all that other stuff. But you ask Randall Cobb, you ask Mason Crosby.
He's got his inner circle.
You ask Bakhtiari, you ask some of those guys that have been around him for a long time. They'll tell you he's a great teammate.
Sure. Those guys. He's got his inner circle.
Sure,
but he's
he does.
also won. And he's also won MVPs. He's also played at the top level of his game, which
That's true.
affords you a lot of wiggle room when it comes to your personality.
I do know this, that having like a guy like Aaron Rodgers here for 2 years, if he is out there and he is playing the way that we expect him to play, your defense is going to be better just by virtue of the fact that the offense is going to score more points and they're going to hold on to the ball longer.
Oh, absolutely.
They're not going to be throwing interceptions and fumbles and all this other crap that the Jets have been going through offensively. I mean, they won about 4 or 5 games there with virtually no offense. I would argue, if I go back and look at last year's schedule, that if Aaron Rodgers were their quarterback, 4 or 5 more wins.